All right, so what I had forgotten to mention in the last video is when we inserted new rows, keep in mind we can do that the same thing with columns. So for example, if I had wanted to insert a column in between F and G, I could have right clicked and pressed insert, or went up here at the top and pressed insert sheet columns. So just keep in mind that it's not just a rows thing, you can also do the same thing with columns as well, rather than having to move everything back and forth. Or you could also insert a range of cells by selecting a range of rows by selecting multiple rows and insert that way as well. I just wanted to correct that. Okay, now we're going to start entering in our numbers. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to put in our what if assumptions. So I'll get into more of this later, but we're just going to go ahead and plug in the data. So our margins could be 78.75%. Bonus is $3,500. Sales revenue for bonus is $65,000. Commission is 25%. Site rental is 10%. Marketing, 5%. And equipment repair and maintenance, 3.5%. So that is going to be our what if assumptions, and again, I will get into that a little bit later. Now we're going to go ahead and start entering in the projected revenue. Basically, this is what we hope to make in the next 6 months. So keep in mind, we're making this like back in December. We're not making this in July. We're not reporting anything. We're basically, what we're trying to do is figure out over the next 6 months, where is our finances going? How much money is coming in? How much profit are we making? And then you can kind of see over the 6 months, okay, based off these projected figures, you can make business decisions based off of that. And as I said before, with Excel, this is huge in the business world. And in the business world, whether it be a marketing department or a toy company or an electronics company, even Apple is looking at their financial projections to figure out how they want to market the new iPhone or how the new iPhone is going to sell based off the features. So financial projections are very, very common in the business world. So we're going to go ahead and project our numbers. We're going to project that $55,000 will make in revenue for January, $62,500 for February, $67,000 for March. That's a lot for ice cream. $90,250. May, $77,500. And June, $74,750. So this is what I basically see from this. This is an ice cream shop, correct? January, no one really eats ice cream. Whether you live in Florida or New York, it's just not a good month for ice cream. It's cold. At least it is for me. I'm not exactly sure. February gets a little warmer. Okay. March even gets a little warmer. March is springtime. Look what happens to April. Things warm up. Spring break happens. Okay, everybody wants the ice cream. And then May kind of will drop off a little bit, but still higher than these figures. And then same thing with June. So that's what they're thinking. So that's going to be their ideas, as you will. Okay, now in H4, what I had actually forgotten to add in the previous step is let's go ahead and fill this over. Let's change July to total and change I to chart. Okay, I had forgotten to do that. Okay, so now to figure out the total, we need to use the sum function. So we're going to, in this cell here, we always start a function with equal. We'll type in sum because we're adding B4 through G4. So sum parentheses, we're taking the sum of B4 all the way through G4. And you can kind of see that the sum will be of these cells only. And then we'll press enter. So they assume they're going to make $427,000 worth of revenue in 6 months. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So now we are going to insert some new information here. So one of the things they want for this worksheet is to include a date stamp on the right side of the heading section. That date stamp shows the date of the workbook, report, or other document that was created or for the time period it represents. So usually in business, a report is often meaningless without a date stamp. For example, if a printout of the worksheet in this module distributed to the company's analysts, the date stamp shows when the 6-month projections were made as well as the time period it represents. So one of the functions we're going to be using is called the now function. And basically you're going to put in the system date. So whatever date you created it based off the system. So we're going to select H1 here. And we're going to go to the formulas tab here. And we're going to go to insert function. Now we are going to select this function now. So we'll click on it and press OK. And what this function does is it returns the current date and time formatted as a date and time. It takes no arguments. Okay, so what that means is if you look up here, you got equal, the now function, the things that are in the parentheses, that's an argument. So basically if it says this function takes no arguments, that means that there's nothing in the parentheses. That you don't put anything in the parentheses. It is how it is. You just press OK and it will return the date and time. Now of course it does this in 24-hour time, so you can see that I am up at the wee hour of 9:19 p.m. on January 29th, 2019 creating this video. Okay, so we went ahead and we put that in there. Now we're going to change the format. So we're going to go back up here to home and we're going to go find the number group here and press the dialog box launcher. Now we're going to find the date category. Now we're going to be formatting this date a specific way. We're going to find the one that says 3/14/2012. This is the one that we have here. Okay. And that's what we want. So go ahead and press OK. And that's what we're going to have. So it's 1/29/2019 is the date today. Okay. So we are going to double click the border between columns H and I to return the best fit. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and save the workbook. Now the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to be playing around with absolute versus relative addressing. Now in order to kind of explain this in the if function, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording right now so that way I can dedicate an entire video on some of these complicated concepts.